have someone with us who has 2 decades of experience in the IT industry. He is the founder and CEO of Maple, a focused management professional with an experience of 17 plus years in the global and domestic IT senior management within the professional services sector, including IT service delivery, program management, cloud product development and operations management, cloud strategic business development, financial and operational efficiency, market and competitor analysis. His experience covers the establishment and development of all management portfolio sectors, as well as strategic planning and development of business and new practice areas. He has a proven track record of successfully completing multiple challenging assignments through well-formulated strategies and diligent execution. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Kshitij Verma, a passionate evangelist for entrepreneurship and a technology entrepreneur himself, who's here with us now at VLounge to share about his journey and his venture. Thank you for joining us on VLounge, sir. So my first question to you is that from your engineering days to where you are today, how has the journey been so far?
Sure. So first of all, I would like to thank and be glad to be part of your program. See, as far as my journey is being like more than 17 years. And when I've started, I've completed my engineering. I was very eager to do very passionate things, innovative things. But I was having no clue where to go, what to do. So, but the way I've started my journey, I've been into many roles, many industries, many verticals, many IT companies. And then I started finding my path. So the journey was very long, but how fast it has been covered, I didn't realize that path.
All right.
Yeah. So the journey is being very exciting, and it's full of learnings. It's completely learnings. And I've learned so many things from all industry experts, and then the people who are there in the industry, in the global market, are very path-defining kind of people and industry. So it's been a very good journey for me till now.
Fantastic, sir. And we'd like to know, how did the IT bug get to you?
Okay. So this is a pretty interesting question, because when I've completed my engineering in 1997, I have basically done my engineering into electronics.
All right.
So I have a telecommunication electronics background, but not the IT background. So per se, I started into telecommunication, worked for 3 years in a typical hardcore field job for 2.5 years in the telecom segment. And last 6 months, I was moved into the software development part of the IT telecom industry. So that basically makes me a lot of interesting, because although the entire information technology itself is very innovative and very full of learnings, but the software part, the IT part, is very interesting, where I wanted to see something which I can innovate and do. So that's how I moved purely into the software division of the IT, core IT portion.
Right, absolutely.
So as I said earlier, it's been a very long journey, and I've been to many companies, many roles, which is on the initially very technical side. Gradually, I've moved into the business side, the managerial side. So I've seen all the folds of the pages. Gradually, for last few years, when I am mostly into the business side, working with NEC and then Tata Consultancy Services at a very senior level, then I realized that these are the areas which are required for you to get established and have your footprint and understanding about how to set up the business, how to run your own business. And that gives me a lot of encouragement, understanding, and learning, overall learning. But I still given sufficient time for myself to being in that role for about 8 years, 7 to 8 years, so that I get completely flexible and agile to that environment before moving to that. And finally, in 2013, I quit NEC and then started my own venture. So that's how the journey is.
Wow, fantastic. And now we'd like to talk about this venture of yours. So when did this idea of Maple strike you, and can you tell us what Maple is all about, if you could elaborate for us?
Sure. So as I said, like when I've moved out of NEC, at that point of time I was a part of the cloud division at a very senior role. So that gives me a lot of idea. And since I was the person who was very key to all the responsibilities and then the areas which are supposed to drive for the company from a business perspective. So I was responsible for that. And that gives me an idea to move out and then start something. And I've started Maple, formed Maple in 2014, mid of 2014. And from that day onwards, the core areas, for example, like the cloud computing, the big data, analytics, these are the very niche areas where very few people are available in the market. I mean, people are talking about so many things. There is a buzz of cloud and all those things for a couple of years. But few people available with a good understanding of the market and who really understand what the scenario is in the current market and how to take it further. So that's how we have established Maple, and which is basically focused on primarily 4 service areas. The cloud computing, so anything and everything on cloud. Then big data analytics, and the digital marketing portion, which is very in demand now. So there are different folds, different aspects of digital marketing. And fourth is the technology training programs. Now on the technology training programs, again we have restricted ourselves to the very niche area, because we strongly believe on the innovation. Until unless there is innovation, if you stop doing innovation, you will cease to exist. Yeah. So, and our punchline, Maple punchline is same, like innovation next. So we are always hunger for the innovation and the learnings. So that's how we keep boosting ourselves, that how we can go for new things. So our basically vision is to give you the best to your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And again, keeping a niche area for that particular segment. So as I said, by nature, I am very innovative and creative.
Right.
And that's how I am. Again, very down-to-earth person, but still, that's my nature. But the kind of trends are getting into the market. When I was in US for about 2 years in an assignment from TCS with a customer called Adobe Incorporation. At that point of time, in 2007, they started the cloud services. At that point of time, it was very new, and they have taken that initiative years back.
Right.
Because Adobe being a product company, they started forming their cloud division and started migrating everything on cloud, because they have a vision. They wanted to give everything as a service. From that day, I have got this idea, and it was somewhere there in my mind, and I wanted to execute that someday. So during my experience in between, I have got this idea, but I was just waiting for the right time. And then I started with this idea to, along with Maple, and then start my journey.
All right, so the seeds were sown way back in 2007
Yes.
then. All right, and coming back to now, we'd like to know, since you started off last year, was your idea very easily accepted by people, for one? And how do you differentiate yourself and your business and from your competitors?
Okay. Yes, of course. See, as I said, we are almost like a 1-year-old company. And within 1 year when we started, since my personal network and the relationship we have in the industry, not in the domestic market, but in the global market as well, it's very good. Using that, because that is what you initially count on. Generally, direct marketing or all those things doesn't work at the initial stage. So you have to leverage those personal relationships. So with that, we started getting very early customers, like the way we have worked with Tata Communication is our customer, then Airtel is his customer, Aircel we are talking to now right now. There we have a couple of US customers, Australia customers. And so this is, if you see broadly the 1 year journey, we have worked with so many people. And recently we have outsourced the entire software development work for NEC Spain, which is a big thing for us, because during 1 year time, if you achieve so much things, it itself shows that people are accepting you.
Right.
And since we have kept our area very niche, so that's how we are facing a lot of very less competition in that segment. So first customer, of course, was Tata Communication. We have done many things for them in terms of software development, in terms of training programs, which is very high level, because Tata Communication being a telecom company, they are mostly into the telecom. They have majorly telecom products, which is very high-end products. And for those, people are not available, skilled resources are not available in the market. And that's how we connected and then served them. Fortunately, the good part is we haven't had any loss till date. Though we are in discussion with many customers, but you know, there are customers whose sales cycle is long, so those are in pipeline.
Right,
yeah. So there is no losses as such till now.
Great. So it's been a very wonderful first innings that's going on.
Right.
That's great. And considering you were talking about a lot of customers in the pipeline and stuff, what kind of hurdles did you face when you started Maple, actually, when you first got along?
Hurdles will be there always, whether it's a business or any sort of line. But I don't consider those or take those hurdles as actually hurdles. I taken that as a learning, because hurdles could be good or bad also. But I've taken that as a learning, what we have done right and what we have done wrong. And based on that, we have quickly fine-tuned that strategy and then succeeded.
All right.
So yes, there are hurdles, but not like any showstopper. It's basically like a learning.
Right.
So that's how we learn, and then that's how we move. If we don't learn from our mistakes and all the things, it's like you stop learning and then stop moving forward.
All right, fantastic. And we'd like to know, have you been in a successful startup before? And what are all the characteristics that led to your success here?
So yes, out of the box you say that I've been into a startup, but within some organization. Like in TCS, I was responsible for entire media and entertainment segment, pan-India. And I have formed a team of cloud, was basically pioneer for that organization, within that organization. Because I was being part of NEC India market. So that basically gives a lot of exposure within organization. TCS being a large organization, so many people there in the TCS. So you suddenly got that exposure, which gives an internal like startup on your own, because I have a large team there, a lot of people are working together as a team, and then suddenly getting exposure itself gives that startup experience. And within NEC also, after TCS, it was the same experience, forming that the complete group for cloud, because cloud itself is new, and then selling these kind of things in the India market is very important, because India is a very emerging market.
Right.
It's not that mature like US and UK, right, where you quickly go and then people have understanding about cloud. So selling is very difficult in India.
All right.
So yes, within organizations I have certain startup experiences, but Maple is outside startup experience. Yeah.
Okay, all right, fantastic. And we'd like to know, how has this startup impacted your family, your social life, or your relationships? Have you changed as a result?
Yes. So my family is very supportive, first of all. So in Maple, myself and my wife, Soumya Verma, who is basically passed out from Wellington itself, 98-2000 batch. So that's how I'm very much touched with this program. So both of us are our partner in this company. And she is a very active person in the organization. So yes, she has been very supporting. My family, entire family is very supporting. At times when there are a lot of energy have to be put, a lot of time I have to sacrifice where I can't give time to family and other things. They have been very supportive. As far as the social life is concerned, I being a very active person on all social media, so mobile penetration is of course there. So I've always used to connect with social media, with friends or the business colleagues or industry experts through all LinkedIn professional things or social media channels.
Right. So it hasn't really affected your social presence.
Social presence is, I would say, much more expanded.
Right. Oh,
And I've used it in a very right way. That helped me a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And we know that there are 4 stages to a business. The idea, the startup, the ramp up, and the speed up. So what stage are you in right now?
So I would still say that 1 year is not that long time for any organization. So we consider ourselves to be in an incubation state, even though we have early wins, but we are keeping our energy very down and then saving it for the future assignment. So
All right.
it's an incubation state here.
All right. Fantastic.